Well, the kiddies are home for another couple of weeks, so Ava and I went. I had to get my hair cut. Ava got hers done. Both of us looking sharp. We're gonna go get a bite to eat and bring some food home to Mommy. Turned in here. Let me see. I guess this isn't a true picture how bad it is. See if you can see. Not really, right? You see a little. Well, it was like freezing rain, pellets, and snow all day. It leaned towards the snow part, so it was tolerable. But it was close. Just a rotten day, top to bottom. We had a lot of stuff to do this week. Wanted to get the blood work back on Yes and Simba. We got it back. Their blood wasn't that bad, so they're both going to the field for 3-4 weeks. And you might say, well, somebody said, why not 2 months? Well, why not 2 years? I'm not going to give them 2 months off and miss most of the year. These aren't 2-year-olds. These are aged horses. So a month off will be fine. 3-4 weeks off will be fine for both Yes and Simba. Mechanically, they're going out sound, so that's good. Need to put some weight on both of them a little bit. As you can imagine, the rigors of racing, especially at Northfield, it's so tough there. The rigors of racing take a toll, so this is why we give them a rest, right? So, and this is a very interesting point. A number of people message me, not a number, one or two, I guess a number of people message me and say, well, how do you know when to turn the horse out? Like, for instance, why wouldn't we turn them out when they first started racing bad? I said, it's a great question. It's a very subjective thing, right? It's horse by horse, case by case. You look at a horse like Stonebridge Simba, he finished second. In between that second was a couple of bad starts, and then last week he was atrocious. I mean, if his blood come back poorly, if his blood come back good after last week's performance, I mean, there is no doubt. Like the night I drove Peanut or got parked with Brave World, they'll tell you pretty quick when they're tired and need a rest. And you can't just put a timeline on it like a calendar. Okay, this is when we're going to rest him. This is when we're going to have him back. Okay, because if we did that, White Tiger wouldn't be racing right now, right? He's been going wide open too. But you see when a horse finally gets their mojo, right? Finally gets their stuff together and things start to mesh well and work well with that horse, they're sharp as a tack. And White Tiger couldn't be sharper right now. The best form of White Tiger ever in his life is right now. And this is a horse that's really played havoc with his owners over his course of his life. We set a world record with him at 2, thought we had a killer at 2. At 3, he was kind of lost, did okay, but still a little bit lost. At 4, sporadic breaks, same with from time to time at 5. He bounced around from the meadows. He even showed up at Northfield one time. Mohawk. He was at Plain Ridge for a couple of starts, but all this culminated in what you see now, which is an experienced, smart horse that really has a lot to offer. And now you're really getting a sense of, how long it can take sometimes for a trotter, especially to mature. White Tiger has never in his life been as good as he is right now. Everything is he? He's like 6. I think he just turned 6. Everything is working great for White Tiger, and he looks awesome. I told you guys last week that I've never seen Yes trot as good as he did the other day. Tired, a little burnt out, but I've never seen him trot as good as he did the other day. So another horse to look forward to in a couple of months would be Yes.
Are they the same age?
Yeah, yes. See what I did there? Yes, I believe they are the same age. They are, White Tiger and Yes, because Oso Pine race that year, they all started at the same time. So a lot going on. We're going to bring back Brave World and Peanut and get them started back up and getting moving forward. Now I'm going to have a look at them tomorrow. I'm going to drive the truck out to swap out the horses because I want to see how High Gear No Fear looks. Did he put the weight on? I asked him to. Now, we're a little short on time. According to my records, December 16th they went out. So not a lot of time to be putting a ton of weight on horses. So High Gear No Fear might need a couple of more weeks maybe, which, as I said, he's not coming in until he's fat. That's when he's going to come back in. Don't believe me, just watch. And Brave World a little bit different. They're going to come back in unless I feel they shouldn't, which I highly doubt that will happen. They'll be coming back in tomorrow. So we talked about the turnouts. We talked about the horses racing. He was talking about White Tiger and how good he is. I got a little stink eye the other day from Mrs. McDonald. She heard me. She watched the video and I couldn't tell what she was doing. The video was over and she goes, I guess I don't know how White Tiger, how good he has to race to get a mention, but I'll let him know. She was a little peeved that I didn't bring up White Tiger. Of course, White Tiger is racing tremendous. It appeared to me and everyone else on planet Earth, if he gets any room, he's a winner the other day. Not without circumstance. He did run down left hind, bought some rundown patches for him today. Did burn a little bit in his hobbles, which is weird because he's been wearing them since forever. And did the bell boots chewed his heels up a little bit this week. So I think we're going to have to go. I said to James, I don't want to mess with the weight that is on him, right? Trotters, weight, balance, soundness, everything matters. So I might buy a useless pair of pacing scalpers or quarter boots to wear on him. They'll be the things that come flying off at the quarter pole or the 3/8, like they do so often on every horse. So I'm toying with the idea of putting quarter boots on him. Now they will protect that area, which he's been known to grab once in a while, so that will protect that area also until, as I said, the boot goes flying off. But for now,
Why
that's
do they fly off?
because they're in a weird spot. They're not on like bell boots, and sometimes just from the sheer torque and the sheer work of the horse, they'll go flying off sometimes. So that's probably the only change we're going to make with White Tiger. Really would like to change nothing, but he did draw a little blood on that left hind running down. He's done that before from time to time, but he seems comfortable, seems really sharp and ready to go. So good for him. We gave a week off to Locatelli. He'll be back in to go this week, so excited to see him race. Swan's Honey, I am going to stay and drive Swan's Honey this week. I am going to go to Ohio again this weekend.
Yeah.
But I will stay and drive Swan's Honey, this affiliate, a mare that I know is better than those horses. Got in a kind of a tough spot last week out of the 8-hole. She draws any better than 8, I suspect we'll be heading somewhere close to the winner's circle, I would hope. So Swan's Honey looking good. Now today, as I said, better now, but it was miserable all day. Some of the horses, as you can imagine, in the winter we have corks put on them. So those are little spikes that are welded onto the shoe. And over time, over 3-4 weeks, they get dull. So any of the horses that were due to be shod today kind of slipping a little bit. So we did have some characters that made some breaks, but we had a lot of horses that looked very good. Because I got the Munchkins with me and I have to drop Addie off at daycare, I can't make the first set. James has banished me from the first set because it holds everything up. So I don't go in the first set the last 2 weeks, and I probably won't for a little while. But I pulled up the fence and we got to see High Enterprise put it on them today and look great. Una Madonna, Lost Spirit. I'm so excited about Lost Spirit. This is a horse that I was worried about. If you just take him on face value, he looks like a lost cause sometimes. But when you get him...
Lost Spirit.
That's what I did, yeah. But when you... it's undeniable what he's done. I couldn't tell. I don't think he got up today, but he'd won the 3 training sets before this. This horse has done everything we've asked him to do, so I got to cut him some slack and be fair. He's doing his work well. So good for him. Lost Spirit, High Enterprise, and Una Madonna are standouts to me. Now, I have a list of horses that caught my eye today. Either I saw them go or I went with them myself. Horses that I thought looked great. Most importantly, a horse was like Depend on It. I've talked to you guys about how I have concerns about a couple of horses. Every year we have this, and a couple of times in the past they've ended up in the sale, right? I don't know if we'll have that this year. Depend on It was good today. Won a mile in 2:57. He made a break, but he only made a break because he's made so many breaks and been sick and not been able to get in groups. A horse went by me down the backstretch. Coupe de Ville went by me down the backstretch, and he kind of peered over at her and lost his gait and made a break. But was training well before that. Not hitting himself, not interfering. Now his hobbles were on tight. We can let those out. But I was happy with Depend on It. So for my partners in Depend on It out there going, is he in the sale? I got to wait and see. I don't think he is going to be in the sale. I like what I saw today. I needed to see this today, and I saw it. So Depend on It, very impressed with what I saw from that horse today for a number of reasons. 1, he looked healthy. 2, he looked capable and content to do his work. And 3, he did it very well. 3 very important points for him today. Second set, Carter Michael Dio came first over and busted us up. He looked good. Johnny went with him. Here's a horse training on a can be a slippery surface today, right? He had flip-flops on. Just come first over and busted us up and looked awesome. Old Check looked good. Now here's a horse that I said has the best of both his sister and his brother in him. This is a 3rd-generation stable horse, right? Daryl has sent this horse again to us. The 3rd one in a row he sent us. Miss Brampton Beast, good-looking filly, pace 54, 55 at 2, at 3, but just couldn't put it all together. Mentally, maybe just didn't have that eye of the tiger that we needed. I saw some of that also in the half-brother in Adrenaline Rush. Right? Never really had the eye of the tiger, the old Rush colt, but he'd get his work done. Again, he took a mark of 54, I believe. Pace 55 at 2 and 3. Looked good. Won stake races. I think both of them did. this colt's a little more stout and compact and racy. And, you know,
Racy.
he is a racy little colt. And when you look at Miss Brampton Beast, she tucked her head. She always had that little bit of breathing problem. Allergies really bothered her. This colt, now that we see this family coming, I think Old Check could be the best of the three by far for us. We'll see, but I'm very happy with what I saw today. Horse said he's really... Johnny said
Does
this was...
he have allergies?
Well, it's hard to tell because it's cold out right now. You don't see them till about July, right? Full Heart. Johnny told me this was the best filly, and week in and week out, he beats us in different ways. He came first over. He's 3 wide one day. He put her on the front one day. This filly is a monster and loves her work and is smart and loves to beat up on horses. I love everything about Full Heart. Very, very happy to have this filly. We had her sister and Ailson. Wasn't put together the greatest. Interfered a bunch. Still trotted in 55. But this filly is put together infinitely better. She's already 4 or 5 inches taller than Ailson was. And longer. She looks very good. Full Heart. Serious customer here at the barn. Now, a horse that I told everybody no one wants any part of, speed-wise, and quite a ways from being anywhere near mature, is Lady All-Star. This is a filly that had made breaks. She made a break on James. And James gets frustrated because I told him, I said, you know, you can't just go out and let her jog along easy and expect her to do her work. She's not going to.
Someone just throw a snowball?
I think they did. Somebody must have seen us parked here. Lady All-Star, again, and James like, well, you can't have her angry to train. I mean, at what point does that not work anymore? You're right. He's right. But we do have to get her into a
Dad,
position.
I think it's open.
Why do you say that?
Because the TVs are on.
But I thought you said the door. Go in and check the door.
I did. I tried to open. Yeah, see, there's people in there.
Well, if
And
there's
I
people...
tried to open the door, and it wouldn't open.
Well, just see if it's open. It's open or it's closed. There's not really an in between. So, Lady All-Star, Ava and I are looking to get a bite to eat. There's a million restaurants here. We were going to go to this one. It looked closed, but now it looks open. Just have to try the door, honey. Give it a little jiggle. Lady All-Star, today I thought her out real good. She obliterated them. Last half in like 19. Make no mistake, the fastest horse in the barn. I've said that again and again and again. No one wants any piece of this filly. But as far as maturity goes, she's a long way from the shore when it comes to understanding her job. Not only understanding it, she's smart enough to understand it, but wanting to do it and do it right, she's a little ways. Is it open?
Open, but they won't let you sit inside.
Where are we going to sit out in the snowbank?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Oh, it's for
she
takeout.
She said it's for
I'm not going
takeout.
in there.
And she said it's also, the patio's open. But
Oh, the patio's open. It's +1 out. Is she on crack? This is what we live in Ontario right now. I don't want to start there. Anyway, Lady All-Star trained awesome today. Let's call that one more step forward. She's got such a nice gait. She's so powerful and wiry when she's trotting. Like, she feels when she's in full flight and settled in. As a driver, you can tell when they're bouncing and they're ready to go. When she's settled in full flight, she feels like a racehorse right now. It reminds me of another horse we had last year. Bomb Hugger was the same way. Little goofy, make the odd break. Now, this filly's got a black belt in stubbornness. Bomb Hugger did not. But very similar. Yeah, she's in Northfield jogging. Lady All-Star looked awesome today. Sister Solange continues to impress me. I love this filly. She looks so good. Throwing her head when we first broke her, it was a real problem. Then we finally got the dentist in the other day. 3 wolf teeth in this filly. Had them all pulled. So they're like your wisdom teeth. You never had your wisdom teeth out. They got to pull them out. They're at the back and they pinch and they hurt. Anyway, now I remember when I was talking to James about getting a rubber bit for that horse. We were at the thing. I was going to the tack shop to pick up some stuff, and James and I both knew. I said, I got to get something for a horse, and I can't think of what it is. It's bugging me. It's not boots. It's not equipment. What is it?
It's a rubber bit.
It was a rubber bit for Crantini.
Do we need to go back?
No, it's all right. I'll get it tomorrow. I'm going to have to write that down. Text that to myself or something. Write that down when I finish my video.
Put it in
A
the
rubber
comments.
bit. A rubber bit for Crantini. So Sister Solange, not shockingly, not throwing her head now, and looked awesome today. I got to be honest, though. Smoking Hot Irish Girl was about to inhale me and made a little boo-boo. Old Smoky gets a little warm. I think she was one of those horses that just slipped for a step. Now her head was way too low. Her head was like between her legs, but she was trotting so good. And Johnny was going by me just buggy riding. There's nothing I can do about it. And she rolled off stride. I think she just slipped a little bit. She probably needs to be shod, but smoking hot Irish girl. But one thing you guys have to understand about Yes was, and I said it before, I'll say it again. Yes, don't do that. Yes, never looked like a good horse until he was. It's the easiest way to put it. He was always a runt trained down. He was just kind of so-so. Even when we got him to the races, if you guys remember, his first lifetime start, he was the longest shot on the board and finished last in the maiden race that Oso Pine won. Nobody really thought about anything about Yes until he started to do good. Even after his second start, I'm like, oh, this guy's lucky. He's drawn in easy classes, and then he got better and better. I'm like, you call it what you want. You put him in a place to win, he's going to win. And that's how Yes became Yes. Never was put together great. Never had a great
Yes
gait.
to win.
Smoking Hot Irish Girl is a beautiful gait and is put together perfectly. So this filly here could be any kind of horse. You might say, well, what about the one in between? Yes, he's like 6. There was a horse. There was an Andover Hall. I remember looking at it. I didn't like the way he looked. I've seen, I guess, everyone out of that family except for Yes. This is by far the best looking one. And Smoking Hot Irish Girl looked very, very good today. Crantini, I messaged him a minute ago. What?
Is it in the same? Is Smoking Hot Irish Girl in the same family as Yes?
They're brother and sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crantini, this is going to be a big boy. Now, I know I talked to James about it. I said, I don't really want to geld this guy until I have to. He may be gelded. But for right now, he looks so much better today. I heard a horse coming to me down lane. I can't remember who I had. But here's this horse coming. He got up alongside me. We're finished up now, going a mile and a bit. And I looked over and said, my God, he's a beautiful horse. This is going to be the biggest horse of 2022 for us, I believe.
Dad?
Is Crantini. He is massive and looks very, very good. Rosita's Dream, I had Mom go with Rosita's Dream. Hey, she never went with him before. And he's leaping and carrying on him. He's just feeling good. He's a goofy little bugger. But in the mile, he was all business. And
Leap and bound.
Northfield canceled this Sunday. What the hell are they talking about? Just got a text. That was weird. Rosita's Dream looked fantastic for Amy. Looked really, really good. And I said, how was he? Over on the right shaft a bit. We'll probably get him fluoroscope, but he looks like a monster on it. He's little, but he looks like a monster on the track. He takes up a lot of room for a little horse. Nothing But a Dreamer in the context of dreams. Nothing But a Dreamer looked awesome, which he should. Why shouldn't he? This is a horse that's out of a sister to Mary Marauder. One of the better bred horses we've looked at in Ontario, but he was lame in that video, right? And they never should have posted that. Looks great now. Looks going out the track slow some days. You'll still see he had that OCD removed. You still see he's a little pinchy on it. As soon as you speed him up, smooth as silk, and he looked awesome again today. And oh my gosh, when his set, that was a set that I believe Depend On It made a break. No, he didn't win that set then because I know Johnny thumped them. We had a chore getting Coupe de Ville to the track today. She was acting up. It was like a Lady All-Star. I was like, what is going on here? A couple of her straps, like her back strap, her head check was a little tight. And we loosened them up and then got her going, and she was fine. Johnny said, man, what a beautiful filly. Just come first over and busted them and looked good. But, oh, my gosh, also looked very, very good today. So we had a great day today. It was miserable. It was a horrible day. But on the track, it was good. The horses I was concerned about. There are some horses out there. I'm like, all right, I got to keep a close eye on this guy. They all looked really, really good. So all of our horses. We're now down to 60 as Mark Beckwith and his uncle took back Sir Bubbles, who's now named Win With a Whisper, and Nick Sko, who's now named Fusco Strong. They're gone back to New York. I actually got to call Mark and ask him how they seem.
Wait, Sir Bubbles?
Yeah, they're gone. They went back to New York State. They went back to Yonkers. They
Why,
are
did
back
you
to
sell
Saratoga.
them?
No, they weren't ours. They sent them here for us to break them, and we broke them. And they
Always
they
gonna
sent
be
them home.
upset because he loves Sir Bubbles.
He'll be all right. Anyway, as I said, quick updates on Yes, Simba, Brave World, Peanut, and no free lunch train today at Mohawk. Now, Harry, the intent was, I didn't talk to Harry after, but the intent was, I know he went over, was to go over and train him in 2.5, maybe get him looked at the vet just to make sure everything was okay, and then qualify him in the next 2 weeks. A lot of his clients are messaging saying, is he ready? Which stake is he in? He's in the Ontario Boys. That's at the end of February. Lots of time for lunch to get back in good order. So we're hoping for a big winter for no free lunch. Anyway, that is your midweek update. I try to give you guys lots of videos, as many as I can. Today was important. It was a great training day at the farm. If you want to know how any of the horses went, I'm happy to. Look, somebody else just messaged me asking about no free lunch. I'm happy to. Everybody did their work well today. I wasn't disappointed in one single solitary baby that went out the door. So very happy across the board. My jazz races tonight. Good luck to my partners on my jazz, and lots of racing going on this weekend. I can't wait to go back over and drive Tour de Lindy. I guarantee you I won't be locked in this week. Take care.